Here are my note cards. Here's my audience.
Hi, my name is Addis Murphy, and I'm a senior here at DeKalb County High School, and today I'll be doing a persuasive speech over love on screen versus love IRL. Imagine this for a moment. You're watching a romance movie, two people see each other across the room, and instantly everything changes. They fall in love without effort, overcome every obstacle through passion alone, and end with a perfect kiss in the ring. It's beautiful, it's emotional, and it feels like something everyone wants. But the problem is, almost none of it reflects real life. Most of us have been surrounded by these kinds of stories growing up. We see them in movies, TikTok edits, fan fiction, and even best-selling romance novels. And even when we think we are just being entertained, these stories quietly shape the way we think love should look like today. Today I want to talk about how these romantic fantasies affect us and how they influence our real relationships, and how we can enjoy them without letting them break our hearts. To understand the impact, we first need to look at how love is portrayed on screen and on the page. In romance stories, everything seems perfect. People fall in love instantly, problems go away with a single grand gesture, soulmates magically understand each other, and passion never fades, never slows down, and never requires any real work. But psychologists have shown that these portrayals actually change the way people think about relationships. A 2020 study in the psychology of popular media found that people who watch a lot of romance movies are more likely to believe love should happen naturally without real communication or effort. Another study in the Journal of Media Psychology found that heavy readers of romance novels are more likely to believe in fated love, meaning that they expect one perfect person to automatically understand them. Movies and books make love look like destiny. Real love is usually a slow build, not a lightning strike. And that's where the trouble begins. Once those fantasy images get into our heads, it becomes easy to compare real relationships to something that was never real in the first place. This can be damaging in ways people don't always notice. A study from the University of Buffalo found that people who believe relationships should be perfect, an idea often shaped by romantic media, report lower satisfaction with their partners and are more likely to break up. Why? Because when you expect movie-style romance, normal relationship moments suddenly feel disappointing. If your partner doesn't text back immediately, it feels like they don't care. If you argue, it feels like something's always wrong. If passion dips for even just a moment, it feels like you're losing each other. But none of that is actually true. Those moments are part of normal, real relationships. Romantic media also teaches some unhealthy examples. The fight for me trope can make possessive behavior seem romantic when it's actually toxic. The grand gesture fixes everything storyline makes it seem like communication is the absolute most important part of any relationship, not anything else. These stories are fun to watch, but believing in them set people up for real heartbreak. The good news is that we don't need to stop watching romance movies or reading love stories. We just need to watch them with a little more awareness. According to the National Association for Media Literacy and Education, learning to question what media exaggerates makes people less likely to compare their real relationships to fictional ones. That doesn't mean we can't enjoy romance. It just means recognizing for those stories are designed for passion, drama, fantasy, not accuracy. In real life, love doesn't always look cinematic. It looks like communicating when it's uncomfortable. It looks like patience, compromise, and growth. It looks like two imperfect people choosing each other over and over and over again. That might not make a dramatic movie scene, but it's far more real and far more fulfilling. When we understand this difference, romantic media stops being something that misleads us and becomes something we can enjoy without letting it rewrite our expectations. So as we step back and look at everything, one thing becomes clear. Romantic movies and books create beautiful stories, but they also create unrealistic ideas about love. These ideas influence what we expect, how we treat our partners, and how we feel about our own relationships. let fictional standards replace reality, we risk feeling disappointed, insecure, or even heartbroken. But when we enjoy these stories while still valuing the messy, imperfect, and genuine nature of real love, we protect our relationships and our hearts. Now I'm going to give you an example. Now I'm going to give you an example of some movies that I think are quite unrealistic. So for the first one, we have The Notebook. Noah and Allie, they meet each other when they're very, very young, fall in love instantly. Like, Noah falls in love, chases this girl around, even though she has a whole boyfriend. Ends up going to the army, writes her 365 letters for every single day that he's been gone. She ends up getting married. And then cheats on her husband when Noah gets back from the army. And then they live a happily ever after romantic life, and then they die in the same bed. And 10 things I hate about you. Kat Strafford, she's very blunt. Normally a lot of people don't like her. She's pretty, but most people are kind of scared of her. She's pretty intimidating. The only thing is that her sister Bianca, she's very popular. She gets all the guys, all the attention. But the only way that Bianca can date is if Kat dates, and that's what their dad put over their household. Is that's their number one rule. And so Bianca's friend ends up trying to set her sister up with a bunch of guys, and ends up picking this one guy. And he ends up succeeding and persuading her to be with him, but she doesn't know that it's a whole deal or whatever. And I just think that's very unrealistic. Or she's the man. The girls' soccer team gets cut off by the school, they stop funding it. And so she decides, I'm going to dress up like a dude to be on the men's soccer team. She ends up meeting this beautiful human being. And they fall in love. They fall in love and everything goes well for her. They end up winning the championship, and then they rip up the rule book, and she ends up being able to play soccer again on a women's team. And on the men's if she wanted to. And then How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Annie Anderson, she's writing about how she can get a guy to leave her as fast as she possibly can in 10 days. And Ben, Barry, his goal was to like make every woman fall in love with him. So they both have opposite storylines, but when they come together, none of their plans work out exactly how they want them to. And in the end, it ends up working in both their favors. Well, not for her, because she ends up, staying. But either way, I still find that very unrealistic. But I suggest that you can still watch the movies, read the books, enjoy the fantasy. Just remember that real love doesn't always look perfect. It just has to be real. Thank you guys for watching my persuasive speech. Let me show you guys. Here's my audience. All right.